So just give me 1 second. Welcome to everybody coming in. Let's see. Yep, thank you. We're excited to talk about Humphreys today. And we're good. The session will be recorded. And all right, great. So let me go ahead and see. All right. Welcome everybody to our info session today for Humphreys University. My name is Samir Alam. I'm an education consultant here with GoElite. Here we're going to talk about Humphreys University and Day 1 CPT options available through there. If at any point you have any questions, so the structure of this is going to work as the following. We're going to have an introduction to the programs at Humphreys University with Carla and Tyler here. And if you have, after that, we're going to have a Q&A session. So please, there's a Q&A box that please put your questions in there. We're going to have Carla and Tyler answer those questions at the end. So put your questions in the Q&A. In addition, if you have longer questions or you want to connect with our consulting team, including myself here, feel free to scan the QR codes below located here. So that's about us. So GoElite, our agency, we're basically helping international students in American dreams come true through Day 1 CPT. So we do consultation services, whether you're on F1 right now, whether you're on OPT, or whether you're looking to change your status from H1B or H4 to F1 to do Day 1 CPT, we can consult you and guide you to this process to help you get the best fit to achieve your American dream. Our certification, so we have a certification with the American International Recruitment Council. We've been in this business and we're definitely, our consulting team is excited to help you. You can, if you want to hear from other students who've been helped by us or are continuing to be helped by us, go ahead and check out our Google reviews. On Google, we have 410 Google reviews from students who've definitely been helped by us. So yeah, you can, don't only take it from me, go ahead and check out other students as well. Our contact information here is right here. You can check out our website, our YouTube channel, our different social media platforms. And again, especially get in contact to us. We'll be continuously sharing our QR codes to start the consultations. All right. So questions, put it in the chat. Now I'll hand it over to Carla and Tyler.
Fantastic. Well, we appreciate everyone being here this evening, and we appreciate your interest in Humphreys University and their Masters of Business Administration programs with Day 1 CPT. And we're going to let you know about them, and then we're happy to answer your questions at the end of the session. So some interesting things about Humphreys University is it has actually been around quite a long time. It is over 100 years old. It was founded in 1896. And then, of course, it is accredited by the Western Association of Schools and Colleges, which is a regional accreditation, which is very important to you when you are looking for the programs that you're interested in enrolling in. You're looking for that regional accreditation. Another great feature of the program offered by Humphreys is that it is very flexible. Humphreys is on a quarter system, so students will take their classes in 11-week quarters, and then they get a 2-week break between each quarter. So we consider that a nice advantage and feature of the program. And then another fantastic feature is its affordability. You are going to be so pleased with the cost of the MBA at Humphreys. And then Humphreys obviously offers small class sizes. As our enrollment has expanded, they have continued to hire new professors so that they can give you those small class sizes with individualized attention. The programs that Humphreys offers is a Master's of Business Administration with an Information Technology concentration, and that one is STEM designated, and that is Day 1 CPT. And then Humphreys has recently added a Master's of Business Administration and Organizational Leadership, and that is not STEM designated, but that's a really nice feature for students who are not in tech fields. We have a lot of students who are in law and who are in healthcare, and that organizational leadership concentration is perfect for them. And that one is also day one CPT. And then they have added just a straight Master's of Business Administration, a general business concentration, and that is without CPT. And that is a great program for students who are not sure if they want to participate in CPT, or who, if during the course of their degree program, were to lose employment, that allows them to remain in the program and stay in compliance with regulations. So as we were saying, the tuition is affordable. We're going to get into that. It is an incredibly convenient format, as well as the location. And then, of course, you're going to get your CPT as early as day one. So the basic structure of the Masters of Business Administration degree programs, and this is for all of them, is it's a 52 credit degree program. It's 27 months in length. You are considered a full-time student according to SEVP regulations, and then it is a hybrid delivery. You're going to, as I mentioned before, take 11 weeks of courses, and that's going to come up to 2 4-credit courses. So that's 8 credits per quarter. That is considered full-time status. And then you get that 2-week break between quarters, which the students really appreciate. Both the MBA IT and the organizational leadership are delivered in that hybrid format. You are going to come to campus one weekend, a Saturday and a Sunday per quarter. And you're going to do that 3 times a year. Another great little feature of this program is that students are required to take a mandatory break for the 4th and 8th quarters. And during that time, you're still eligible for CPT, but you're not coming to campus for classes. You're not paying tuition for classes. And of course, you're not taking any classes. So you're able to work and have that nice break, and then you can jump back in. And we've again found that the students really love this feature, because when they come back for that 5th quarter and that 9th quarter, they're really refreshed and ready to get back to it. The tuition is probably one of the most affordable tuitions that you'll see. It is $3,000 per quarter. And then there's only 7 quarters that you're paying tuition, so the total program cost is $21,000. And then, as I had mentioned before, you're only coming to campus 3 times a year, so that makes it really convenient. Where are you coming? You are going to attend your classes at the campus in Stockton, California, which is pretty conveniently located. I always fly into Sacramento. That's like a 45-minute drive. And then a lot of students already live in California. They're in the Bay Area or other areas, and they're able to drive to campus. So it is very convenient. There are 4 starts per year. So that allows students to enroll in either the winter in January, the spring in April, summer, which is coming up in July. We're still accepting applications for the summer quarter. And then again in the fall, which is usually late September, early October. And you're going to reach out to GoElite for assistance in applying to any one of those start dates. And as we have mentioned, and why you are interested in that, is curricular practical training is integrated into the IT program and the organizational leadership program. So you are not only required, but you are able to work while you are studying, and you're able to apply what you're learning in your coursework to the job that you have, which is really a tremendous benefit. So talking about CPT, most students are pretty aware of what CPT is, but for those of you that have been hearing a lot about it, but you need a little more information, CPT it stands for Curricular Practical Training, and it is a U.S. government work authorization for F1 students who are enrolled in a class, in a program. The benefit of that is, of course, while you are learning things in your program, you can actually relate to and connect to how it makes sense in the real world in your actual job. And you may have noticed that when you were getting a bachelor's degree, you were taking classes the whole time. And then later, when you graduated, you were able to apply what you were learning. But here, with the way that this program is designed, you get to apply these things and see the connection in real time, which is a feature that we really appreciate. Um, as we said, it's an integral part of the program, and with the IT and the leadership concentration, you are required to participate. So before we get into admission requirements, one thing talking about the CPT is a lot of students are interested in knowing how many times do they have to renew their CPT. So at Humphreys University, students only need to renew their CPT once a year. As long as they're keeping the same job, you're only going to renew that CPT every 12 months. So what do you need to know in order to apply for and qualify for the program? Good news, you don't have to worry about taking the GRE or the GMAT. You're going to get a personalized link for your application form, so that will come to you. And then you will simply upload your university transcripts. If you have a US degree, you're going to upload your unofficial US transcript showing your degree conferred and conferral date. If you have earned your degrees outside the US, you're going to upload those. And we need to also have your degree certificate. If you are a non-US degree holder, we will do an in-house evaluation of your transcripts. That will take a little extra time, but once you are accepted into the program, you're then going to order a course by course and GPA transcript evaluation from ECE, WES, or Ed Perspectives. That's all listed there, and that's all included in the information that we send to you. We're also, if you have a non-US degree, we're going to need proof of English proficiency. Humphreys is very flexible. They will accept TOEFL, IELTS, PTE, as well as the Duolingo test of English. And then you're going to need to include your immigration documents. If you are currently enrolled in a program in the United States, you have an F1 visa and an active SEVIS record, you're going to include your passport, your visa, your latest I-20, as well as your latest I-94, showing the last time you entered into the US. If you're thinking about joining this program and you need an F1 visa, you're going to give us your passport. And then finally, you do need to include financial statement. Now that is a USCIS and SEVP regulation, and the financial statement shows 1 year of tuition as well as 1 year of estimated living cost. So for Humphreys University, that financial statement is $26,000, and Humphreys will accept your bank statements, your credit card statements showing available credit, or if you have friends or family members who want to support you, they can provide their bank statement as well as a letter of support. And we can provide a template for that letter of support if you need it. When you are looking to apply, so we have a July start coming up. If that is a starting point for you, you want to make sure that you submit your application no later than June 15th. So you have a short window coming up for that. If you do need an F1 visa or a change of status, then you're going to want to apply for a later date. The next one coming up for you would be the fall. So pretty straightforward process with Humphreys University. You are going to complete your application. When I receive your application, I am going to review it usually within 24 hours, and I'm going to get back to you. If it's complete, I'm going to send it to the university. If we need additional documentation, I will let you know, and you can email that to me. And then Humphreys is very organized and efficient. You are going to get an admission decision within 3 to 5 business days, usually sooner, but at least within 3 to 5 business days. And then we send you a very detailed acceptance email that outlines the onboarding process for you. So again, if you're an F1 student with an active CVIS record, you're going to get the CVIS transfer form. You're also going to get a link to the CPT authorization form and directions for who to send that to at Humphreys University. And then we will walk you through the rest of the enrollment process. I've been on your team for the whole time, but once you're accepted, you're going to get more people on your team. You're going to have fantastic DSOs at Humphreys who are going to help you, as well as tech support and financial support, so that you can complete your onboarding form, pay your tuition prior to enrolling in the program, and get those transcripts. And then, boom, it's going to be time to attend the weekend session. One thing that I think is really nice is you're going to start your classes online, usually the Monday before the weekend session. You're going to be able to connect with your professors. They will offer you the chance to to meet with them if you choose to. And then you're going to come to campus on that Saturday and Sunday, to meet your professors and take your courses. So it's a pretty straightforward process. And we're excited that you are interested in the program. If you hear a little bit of background noise, that would be one of my very unhappy cats. So he's just joined the session with us.
Perfect, thank you. And just to add with the information that Carla shared, as you can see, it really is a simple process, and that's on purpose, right? We make it simple for you as the student to be able to apply and also enroll and begin the program at Humphreys University. So GoElite, of course, is going to be there to help you get started. So if you're ready and want to apply again, you still have time for that summer start that's in July. So you can reach out to GoElite and they will help you through that initial step. And then, of course, Carla will help you through some subsequent steps as well until you attend your first session there.
So just a brief overview. We have talked about the MBA Information Technology and Organizational Leadership programs offered at Humphreys University with Day One CPT. Humphreys also offers a general business MBA that does not offer CPT if that's something that you're not looking for. It's an incredibly affordable degree program, $3,000 per quarter, $21,000 total. You're going to get that small class sizes and individualized attention. And then you only have to come to campus 3 times a year because of that hybrid format. One thing that a lot of students often ask is when they're taking their online courses, are they going to have to attend classes online? No, the only time you're doing real-time live classes is when you come to campus. The rest of the time, you're just going to be doing your coursework on the learning management system, and you're not going to have to, set a time aside to attend classes. Of course, we have Day One CPT integrated into the program so that you can earn a professional income, continue to build your resume, and then actually apply what you're learning in the course to what you do in your profession, which is incredibly invaluable. The IT degree is a STEM designated program, which would be relevant for those of you who have never done OPT at the master's level and are looking for that opportunity for up to 3 years of OPT upon graduation. So for some of you, that will be an important feature. And then finally, you have fantastic resources. I mentioned that I'm on your team. You have GoElite that is going to be guiding you through the process. And then once you are admitted to the program, you're going to have the team at Humphreys who will assist you. And one thing that Tyler mentioned that I think is really important is that this program is designed and this process is designed to be efficient and organized. One of the features that you'll see with Humphreys and when you're working with us and with GoElite is these programs are designed for students exactly in your particular situation. Many of you are already completing OPT. You want to be able to seamlessly transfer from OPT to CPT and not have a gap in your employment. You don't want to be stressed out about your CVIS transfer. And so we have put all of those things in place with you in mind so that you can have that seamless process that you need and that you desire. So that is another fantastic advantage. So when you're ready to learn more about the program, you want to reach out to GoElite, and then they will give me your contact information and I'll send those details your way and work with you through the process.
Great. Thank you, Carla and Tyler, for your fantastic presentation. Now we're going to start the Q&A session. So we're going to be answering the questions that you're submitting to the chat box. So please feel free to continue asking questions even as we're doing this. And if you have a more detailed question or you're really interested in the application process, we'll have the QR codes on the screen as well. So you can feel free to scan them and get in contact with our consulting team. Great. So for the first question is about application deadlines. So the question is, when is the application deadline for the MBA starting in January 2025? So next year.
Fantastic. I love people who plan ahead. Good for you. If you are an F1 student and you're planning on transferring your CVIS record to Humphreys University, you can submit your application as late as December 10th, 2024. You can always submit it earlier. If you need an F1 visa, maybe you're on H-1B and you need to do a change of status, or you're on a B visa, or if you are in your home country and you need to go through that visa process, I would say the earlier the better, but at least submit your application by November. Actually, I'm going to tell you October 15th because of the holiday season where you're going to have lots of embassy closures in December. So, submit that application for January in October if you need to get a visa.
All right. Thank you. Yeah. So definitely be mindful about what kind of application you're doing, whether you're just transferring your CVIS number, or whether you are doing the change of status procedure. Great. So our next question, would you please kindly address the warning of Humphreys University that it has received before?
Oh, sure. Absolutely. So the warning that is referred to is so Humphreys is regionally accredited by the Western Association of Schools and Colleges. And a little bit ago, they received a warning. That sometimes sounds much more serious than it is. The warning is actually the first step in the evaluation process. And I think it's important to remember that every 10 years, colleges and universities are visited by their regional accreditors, and the accreditors will come in and they'll do a comprehensive evaluation. And if they feel there are areas that need to be improved or need to be addressed, then they will give them a warning. So in Humphrey's situation, that is exactly what happened. It had absolutely nothing to do with academics or academic integrity. It literally had to do with some of the administrative structure. So, hire a CFO and a few other things like that. And so Humphreys is very proactive, and they have immediately taken action to meet those requirements by WASC. And WASC has come in, the Western Association of Colleges and Schools. WASC has come in and they have revisited Humphreys. They just did another visit a couple of months ago. And Humphreys feels very optimistic, and they expect that that warning will be lifted after the last visit by WASC. But that being said, it's important to understand that, let's say that warning was not lifted. Humphreys is not in danger of losing their accreditation at this point. There would just be a few more steps that Humphreys would need to take in order to meet those recommendations. But I'm glad you asked. We're very open about it, as is Humphreys. That information is posted on their website. And again, it is part of the continuous improvement process. Hopefully that answered your question.
Great. Yeah, that's really helpful to see how this warning is really just part of the continuous accreditation to maintain the quality of education for the students. And that Humphreys is very transparent and in responding to the warnings in order to continue their accreditation. Great. So thank you so much. So our next question is about the credit transfer limit. So what is the credit transfer limit and requirement?
So that is a really relevant question. Because of the program structure and design, it is not possible to transfer credit to Humphreys University. So let's say you are currently enrolled in another MBA program, but it doesn't offer CPT. You've heard about this program and you're really excited and you want to transfer that credit. Unfortunately, it wouldn't be possible to transfer your credit. And that is because, Humphreys is a smaller university. And so they have set up the courses. They will automatically enroll students in their courses, and they have them kind of set up on like a carousel. So you're only going to only some classes are going to be offered during certain times. So in order to take advantage of that, in order to maintain your SEVIS status, you have to take the courses that Humphreys offers when they are offered. If they accepted transfer credit, then there would be a time when you already had a course that they were offering, you wouldn't be able to take a course and you wouldn't be able to maintain your SEVIS status. So it's kind of a trade-off from that standpoint. Due to the program design, they're unable to offer transfer credit. But as a result of that, you are able to remain in status for the entire time that you're enrolled in the program and participate in CPT. It's a long answer, but we wanted you to know the why behind the what.
Great. Thanks for explaining the reasons behind that regulation. So our next question is, are there any CS programs that have Day 1 CPT that are offered at Humphreys?
No, there are not computer science programs. So Humphreys is offering business programs. Now, that information technology concentration is definitely designed for folks with a tech background. Let's say you have a software engineering bachelor's degree or even a master's degree in software engineering. And you're thinking, oh, I want to stay on this computer science track. That is one way to approach your career and your education. Another way to look at that is to say, well, I already have the expertise in tech. I already have the expertise in software or computer science, but I really want to grow in my career. And I know that one way to grow in my career is to get the management side of the house. So by pursuing the MBA with the information technology concentration, you're able to really combine the best of both worlds. So you're going to add a credential. And then that is going to open up some possibilities for you with your career because you have that management piece. So that's why the program is designed as it is. And you're still able to have that information technology for those of you that come from a tech background.
Great. Thanks for explaining that. It really kind of sheds light on the different ways that this program could be relevant to your career. Great. The next question is about the courses in the MBA IT program. So I guess maybe it wouldn't be that useful to like list every single course out right now, but could you shed some light on like what type of courses are typically students take?
Sure. So the courses are pretty vast. When you receive the program information from me, there will be a link to the program sheet so you can see every course that is available. But it's pretty broad. The students they have taken international business piece. They also take a marketing piece. They also take an internet marketing piece in the course. And then there are some other more tech specific courses. There are some accounting courses that are part of the program. And it's really interesting. There's also a data analytics course. So it's really interesting too, because the courses are pretty far far sweeping. When you have students who are enrolled in the program, you'll have some that come from a data analytics background, and then of course that course will be a breeze. They're just kind of bringing their expertise into it. But then you'll have students who have never been exposed to that, and that's opening up a whole other, world for them that is relevant to their career. So the courses are pretty far reaching, but definitely relevant to business. And like I said, when you get that email from me, you can look at each individual course and see how that applies to your academic as well as your professional goals.
Great. Yeah, thank you for that answer. And yeah, to get started, if you want to learn more, definitely you can go ahead and reach out to our consulting team and start your application, and you'll be able to see the full course load, like Carla just said. So thank you. So this next question about this particular case, I think whether or not like this is considered a suitable course, maybe that's something that we could direct to the consultation in our consultation, because it sounds like a more personal question. You could definitely bring that to our consultation. And then our next question also. Or
Samir,
you
can
can
I
go ahead
jump
and
in really quickly?
yeah, yeah, go ahead,
I'm not going to get on the
definitely.
personal side of that, but the
Yeah,
CPT question is really a great question. And when you're saying, oh, what if I have a job that's not really coding, or what if I have a job? That is the cool thing about it being a master's of business administration. And whether you take IT or you take the organizational leadership, there's going to be overlap. Think about business. What field does business not pertain to? So while you may not necessarily have the IT aspect of it, you're going to have the business aspect of it. And then also, depending upon the job that you're in, I can tell you a lot of the students we get who are in engineering, the IT is a perfect fit for them. But the adding that organizational leadership has also opened up some areas for folks where that IT you don't have to take the IT. You can take the organizational leadership, and it's less of a stretch for you. So just remember that business, where do we not see the intersection of business in our careers? And so you should feel really good about that in terms of the CPT. The other thing to bear in mind is when you submit your CPT authorization, if it's not a perfect fit, you're not going to get rejected and then not be able to enroll in the program. You're going to get feedback. And your DSO is going to say, hey, I think we need a little, do you do this in your job? Or maybe this other concentration will be a better fit now that I really understand your job description. So just understand it's a dialogue, and your DSO is going to work with you as well. So don't stress out about that.
And on what Carla said there at the end, you also don't need to have secured your employment prior to enrolling in the program. So if you're not sure what you want to do as far as employment, that's okay. You can apply, you can enroll in the program, and the university is going to work with you and allow you some time to seek out an employment opportunity and then to get that CPT authorization.
great. Thanks to both of you for that really detailed answer. Yeah, MBA definitely can be applied to many different things. And so I think that also kind of goes into the next question about concentrations available other than IT for the MBA program. So again, I think this is a pretty straightforward answer based on the presentation we saw. We just have those available, but like Carla and Tyler have been saying, you can definitely apply the MBA to many different fields of work. So even if you're not 100% like, oh, in IT, there's definitely still ways that it could be relevant to your work, if I'm understanding that correctly. Great. And the next question is another deadline question. So what's the deadline to apply for CPT for each start date? So just kind of maybe not like specific dates, but given any given class start date, can you start the CPT earlier? What does that look like?
Yeah. So with the 4 starts per year, that's pretty conveniently spaced out. So if you're a student who is on OPT, and I'm just going to give you an example. So let's say you're on OPT and your OPT is going to end on June 25th, and you want to seamlessly transfer from OPT to CPT. You actually, as you were asking, you actually can start your CPT before the program start date. SEVP regulations allow students to enroll in a program and begin their CPT up to 30 days before the start date. The key to that, and I won't get in super detail, but the key to that is you coordinate your CVIS transfer with your CPT start. And I send very detailed information about that so that those students who need to start a little bit earlier have the information they need and are equipped to do so. So again, remember, as Tyler said before, these programs are designed specifically for students like yourself. And we know many of you are going to need to start your CPT a little bit earlier, and you are able to do that within regulations.
Great, thank you for that. So I'll just a heads up to all of our attendees. We will be wrapping up in the next 11 minutes or so. So continue to get your questions in. If you don't get your question answered again, feel free to reach out to our consulting team by scanning the QR code. Next question, how much is student insurance offered by the university and what's the price?
It is not offered. A student can get insurance on their own. But the university does not offer insurance, nor does it require that students carry insurance.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. Next question regarding jobs. Does the university help with getting a job, or do the students have to get a job on their own?
Students are responsible for securing their own employment, and that is where that weekend is going to be a fantastic resource because you're going to meet so many students who are going to be great networking opportunities and connections for you if you are someone who needs a job.
Okay, that's great to hear. Yeah, definitely use those in-person opportunities to build your network for current or future job opportunities. Next question, do you accept student loans for, I think this is maybe about the financial eligibility.
Yeah, so if you've already secured a loan and you have that documentation and you want to use that loan as your financial statement, absolutely, we will work with you.
Great, thank you. Next question, what's the summer session start date? I think we just touched on that already, but maybe just a refresher for the student.
July 1, and you're going to submit your application by June 15th.
Okay, great. Yeah, so if you're the student, definitely reach out to our consulting team, get your application going so we can get you in for the July 1st start date. Next question, does Humphreys support change of status? So can you apply for H4 on an H4 and then change to F1?
Oh, absolutely. I get students with B visas, H visas, and they are applying for a change of status. That's a simple process. You're going to just communicate that to me, and the university will issue you a change of status I-20. You are going to work with a qualified immigration attorney, though, for that change of status process.
Yes, yes, definitely make sure that you want that to be successful. Just a heads up, if you have more detailed questions about change of status, definitely our consultation team can help you walk you through that process because there's a multiple step process. You don't want to do that just 100% on your own. Now, I think this question is about tuition payment. So are there any payment plans for tuition?
There are not payment plans. Tuition is $3,000 per quarter, and it is due in full prior to the start date. The university will accept multiple forms of payment, so there is that available to you.
Okay, great. Yeah, so definitely no payment plans, but there are more terms than you can definitely break it up into each semester. So that's great to hear. So I think this question we talked about already. So about the semester break during the program, I believe that you're required to take a break for the fourth and eighth semester. So we're just since I want to make sure that we get to everybody's questions, we're gonna move on to the next one. The next way again, so this question. So the start dates for winter, I think we touched on that already. Could you mind shedding some light on the spring 2025 start date?
Tyler, do you have that at the top of mind? I know it will be in April, but I don't have that date memorized. My goodness, you are planning ahead. Winter, the class is going to start online December 30th, and then you'll come to campus in early January, and then spring will be early April. But again, that information is clearly outlined in our communication that we send to you.
Great, thank you. Yeah, and then for evaluating the courses program closest to your job description, what we would recommend, again, you're the person who asked this, you have the best handle of your job description, so I would just carefully look at the job description and the course options and see where there's the most overlap. That would be our suggestion. Next question for online study. I think we answered this already. Is there synchronous class or is the online sessions asynchronous? So I think you answered the only synchronous portions of this entire program are going to be the in-person weekend sessions. Everything else would be asynchronous, if I'm understanding that correctly.
You got it. You
Great. So
you're you getting a gold star, Samir. You
Great.
getting it perfect.
Thank you. Next question. If you are in the person who is already in the US with a valid CVIS, is that okay to have an expired visa? So I believe this is asking about an expired visa stamp but with a valid EAD. So could you shed some light on that?
Yeah, so that's a really common question. I'm glad you asked it. So everyone, you want to listen to this. If your visa has expired, your F1 visa has expired, but you have an active CVIS record. So even if you're not doing OPT, but you have an active CVIS record, you are considered in status and you can apply to the program and you can transfer your CVIS record. The only time your visa comes into play is if you wanted to go home and visit family, or you wanted to take a vacation outside the US, then you need a non-expired F1 visa so you can re-enter the country. But other than that, you are golden with an active CVIS record.
Great. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, that's a very common question we get on our consulting side. So next question, what's the minimum GPA for STEM MBA? This is it 2.5, 2.75? I think this is asking about their previous degree.
Yeah, you must have a 2.5. You probably have seen it as 2.75 in other places, but the university has decided that they will accept a 2.5 GPA, but that's it. There won't go any lower than that. So that's just important to bear in mind. 2.5.
Great. Thanks for clearing that up. Next question. So this is two questions. One, I think the second one is pretty straightforward to answer. You have CPT authorization as long as you're enrolled in classes, even on the quarter breaks. But the first question, maybe you can help with, can a student attend the online portion while they're living in Seattle, and then just come over to Stockton for the in-person session?
Well, that's what we love about this program and its design is that students are living and working practically all over the United States, and they're taking their classes online, and then they're just traveling to the campus for that online session. My goodness, I travel from Florida to see you all in California for the on-campus session. But then so we have students who are traveling from all over the US and working for US firms, just as you described.
Great, thank you. Yeah, so even if you're not like local to California, definitely feel free to apply to this program if it's a good fit for you. Next question, for students who are traveling from other states, is there any sort of university accommodation that's provided?
No, you're going to, the university does provide a really nice brochure on places that you can stay and restaurants where you can eat. There's a lot of fantastic restaurants as well. The other thing is once you're accepted into the program, you have the opportunity, if you want, to join a WhatsApp group for your cohort. And a lot of students do that. And then they start arranging travel and accommodations together to save money and just to have a better time.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, so you can definitely, the university helps you put you in a WhatsApp group. You can network with other students. You can arrange travel plans together. It'll be great for you. Next thing, how long does the process to transfer your CVIS number, and is PTO eligible to take? Students take PTO during that time?
So I love that question because a lot of, so many of our students work in tech and then they still look at the CVIS transfer as like an analog process. It's all automated. So the beautiful thing about transferring your CVIS record is you schedule it in advance and then poof, magically on the day that you have scheduled your CVIS record to transfer, it's going to show up in Humphreys database. So as long as you are proactive and you schedule your CVIS transfer in advance, you shouldn't need to take any time off with the scheduling. And as long as you submit your CPT authorization documents in plenty of time prior to your desired start date, you shouldn't have to do that. If you did need to take time off, obviously you can, but that's, I think, as Samira said, that's kind of an individual situation, and the university and I can advise you on that.
Great. Yeah, thank you for that. So again, if you're looking, if avoiding a gap in your employment is important to you, make sure you're not just following the admissions deadlines. Make sure that you are applying maybe just like a month or so in advance, so you can make sure all the paperwork is good on your side, so you don't have any issues later on. Better to get everything smoothed out earlier, and then you can proceed with things smoothly. Just to want to maybe also want to clarify, if you end up with a gap for your CFIS transfer period, the USCIS regulation is that you cannot work for pay during that period. So I believe PTO specifically would not be eligible. You should be taking unpaid leave. But again, this is avoidable if you are starting everything ahead of time, which it sounds like many of you are. Great. Next question. If students currently on OPT and they want to do CPT again, will they be able for OPT after this new master's?
So anytime you've done OPT at the master's level, you're not eligible for OPT again. And that's the OPT at any level. So if you get a second master's degree, and you've already done OPT, you can't do it again. So you can just work full time during your CPT. Another thing to bear in mind too is that if you've already done your OPT at the master's level, and let's just say you decided you wanted to continue in the program, Humphreys actually will offer you a second concentration so that you could take a third year, get another credential, and continue with your CPT. So that's an important feature as well.
Great. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, so same level, you only get one round of OPT, but if your OPT, again, this is a personal question for the student. If your OPT is from a bachelor's degree, you might be eligible as long as you're watching your full-time CPT as per USCIS regulation. Next question, the employer's not signing the CPT agreement, can they student use an e-verified letter for CPT agreement?
It's not uncommon for some employers to be unwilling to sign the CPT agreement. I can't get into the specifics of the letter, but I will tell you that Humphreys will work with you. We have many students who work for Goldman Sachs and who work for Meta and who work for Google, and the companies won't sign those agreements. It's not a problem. Humphreys is going to work with you, but remember, they're going to work with you so that you maintain compliance with the regulations while you're on CPT, which is so important.
Okay, great. Yeah, so definitely your Humphreys will be there on your side. Just quick question to the panelists. I know we're coming up on our 6:15 time. Is it okay if we wrap these up with these next 3 questions pretty quickly? Or did we want
Sure.
to?
It's good with
Okay,
me.
great. Thank you. Yeah, thank you so much for helping our students. I'm sure they're really appreciating this. And again, students, so we'll probably stop taking questions for now. And if you have any further questions, feel free to scan the QR code for consultations. Me and my colleagues on the consulting team will be happy to help you. So next question, how many credits are there for the CPT job? And can the program be finished early or extended? So it's 2 questions, I guess. What's the credits for the CPT? And second question, is there flexibility with the starting or the ending date for the program?
So all the students are enrolled in a CPT course when you're taking that CPT track, but it is a non-credit course. So your credits, those 52 credits, are your actual business credits, your MBA credits. And then while you will be enrolled in a CPT course, those credits, that is a non-credit bearing course. And then, as mentioned before, can't finish early because of the way the program is designed, but you can extend the program. When you get close to graduating, you're going to reach out to your academic advisor and let them know that you'd like to add another concentration, and they'll help you with that.
Okay, great. Yeah, that's really helpful. Yeah, so no finishing early, but there's flexibility in extending. Make sure that you're on top of it and in touch with your academic advisor. Next question, can we travel internationally during the official breaks in the program?
As long as you have a valid F1 visa and you get a travel signature on your I-20, then go have a great time. Go go explore the world. Absolutely. You are, of course, when you're on that break, you don't even have to worry about taking any courses. So that's a great feature of the program.
Okay, yeah, that's great news. Yeah, so yep, again, just make sure that you have the travel signature. Yeah, you're on top of it. But once you have to go ahead and travel. And the last question, all the way back to the beginning, which I think we've kind of answered, but just to reiterate, so the warning as part of the accreditation process, when do we expect to hear news about that being officially cleared by the WASC?
Tyler, you might have a better answer to that. I know we just got an update on that.
Yeah, last I heard, we're just now waiting for the accrediting body to come back and give us a result. So it's hard to say. And as Carla mentioned, if they feel that something still needs to be corrected, then we'll continue to work towards that. So it's hard to say exactly when that will be lifted, but we're hoping, within the next few months that we'll have a result from the university or from the accrediting body.
It truly is a process, which sometimes that can be challenging to wrap our heads around because we are so results oriented, and so the idea of a process and continuous improvement and constant feedback, sometimes that can be a little hard to wrap your head around. But that's just the way that accreditation, visiting, and continuous improvement works. So we're looking forward to it being lifted, though. That's for sure.
Great, yeah, thank you for that answer. Like both of you have said, it's a process. It's part of the normal accreditation procedure that all universities are going through. And this warning is just one step that helps Humphreys know like what they can improve on. Like you said, it's more from the administrative side, and it's really great to hear all of this information is transparent on the Humphreys website. So for students who are interested in, you can also definitely go ahead and check. The university is very transparent with this process. Great. So I think that's all the questions we had time for today. Thank you so much for the panelists for your time and for letting us go over this time. If you have further questions, definitely go ahead and feel free to reach out to our consulting team on either of the QR codes there. We'll be happy to help you. Again, one quick reminder that we've already touched on. If you are planning on going for the July 1st start date, you can still do that, but make sure that you're getting in that application in ASAP by this week. So definitely our consultants will be able to help you with that. So yeah, thank you again to the panelists for your time. I hope everybody has a great evening, and this session will also be recorded. So if you'd like to see that recording, feel free to check out our YouTube channel.
Thank you so
Thank you,
much.
Samir. Thank you, GoElite.
Good evening, everybody.